Hi, I'm Mauricio from Mexico and I'm the biggest Hans Zimmer fan and also the craziest. Like so many people, I started being a fan of your music with Lion King. I remember the first time that I saw the movie. I was a kid waiting for the movie to start and then this African boy just hit me and I jumped like, wow, that movie changed my life forever. I have listened to this fascinating score so many times and nowadays I realize how different it was from the other Disney movies that preceded. The Hyenas theme is really great and fun. It's my favorite piece of the score. I listened to the whole piece like a million times on the cassette until it broke. After that I got this CD and something happened. It's not in the CD. The Hyenas theme is not in the CD. Maybe it was limited to the length of the CD, but it was on tape. For so many years there was an online petition to get this Legacy Collection. This edition is a 2 CD release with a beautiful presentation worthy of the score itself. And yes, it has the Hyenas track in it. I have very fond memories of this movie. I watched it in DVD special edition, in Blu-ray, and in Blu-ray 3D with these talking fuzzy animals that come right at you. Then I saw these amazing blockbusters like Crimson Tide with this choir and bass sound, followed by The Rock. The Rock has a very emotive opening. The homeless speech is really moving. Then finally Pearl Harbor. This is a very beautiful score and it's one of the few that has woodwinds on it. Gladiator. This movie is unbelievable. It starts quietly, with the hand caressing the wheat, almost poetically. Then the rising tension for the battle to come. And then the clash of the war and all its mayhem. And it ends with a slow music, embracing all the chaos. Many movies since then have tried to replicate it. But here was the first time I saw it. And that was just the first part of the movie. Commodus' insidious mind games, the disgraced general going to fight in dirty places, the Coliseum, and the ending. The ending just makes you feel like you're Maximus dying and flying into the Elysium. It blew my mind. Music tells this magnificent story as a modern opera. In ancient times, we had these VHS special editions. Here we have 2 cassette tapes, and this one is really interesting. It's called Gladiador, Sangre, Arena y Celuloide. This has a special documentary and was the first time that I saw Hans Zimmer. In this tape, it was the first time that I knew the man behind this great music. I bet that few of you will know what this is. It's a very lovely thing called More Music from Gladiator. Duduk from the North is an incredible moving piece, my favorite from the CD. It also contains dialogue from the film in some tracks, but I don't see the need of that. The music is just amazing as it is. Prince of Egypt has a very mature and aggressive sound for an animated musical. The Burning Bush made me feel this inner tranquility and hope. DreamWorks animated movies strive to not be the traditional movie for children. The horse does not speak, the dialogue is narrated in rock songs and many other things. At that time I read an article from HansZimmer.com site that this movie was premiered at Cannes Film Festival and I thought, what an artfully movie is. And then the article said something like, the whole score was played live at the screening. I was perplexed. I haven't heard anything like it. How great was the notion of it? Surely it's a common thing in opera houses, but it was unheard for a movie screening. This was the precedent for things to come. I could talk about every Hans Zimmer CD that I have, and even the digital releases, but that would be a very long video. So instead I will mention the ones that are very important to me. 2001. I was 14 when I saw this movie. And at that time, I don't know what kind of impression left in my mind, just that something corroded, but I loved it. Your romantic comedies became a must-have in my life. Your take in superhero films has a very, very strong and unique point of view. And your villains even more so. Pirates of the Caribbean brought heavy metal to fairy tales. Last Samurai, you change again the sound of Asian textures. You get us inside his mind. It creeps me out, but it's magnificent. Ghent, May 9, 2001. Hans Zimmer performs his music to a large audience, live. I couldn't believe it. I read review after review after review, and it was so mesmerizing. And I knew from that instant that the next time that it will happen, I had to be there. No matter what, no matter when, I had to be there. The pieces were recorded again in this collection called The Wings of a Film. It's full of unexpected choices. Driving Miss Daisy, Thelma and Louise, and thanks to these selections, I knew about this film called Power of One. I started saving money and waited for 13 years. And then the day arrived. Hans Zimmer revealed. Event in Apollo, London, October 2014. I instantly bought tickets for the 2 days. Now what? How do I get to London? So for the first time in my life I applied for a passport, got my savings and a plane seat, and off I went. I was excited the whole flight, even during turbulence. I had to be part of that experience. Arriving at Heathrow, I saw this. Meet and greet tickets. Is this real? Could I get one of those and fulfill my ultimate dream? The opportunity of shake your hand and possibly die by the shock. So I went to the venue a day early, but at the box office no one knew anything about it. I kept asking until I was roughly asked to leave. October 10th arrived. The excitement of being at the lobby and just waiting to enter. The man himself. When you enter the stage, I even cried a little. The stage filled with outstanding musicians. Anne-Marie, Satman Tangotra. All your pieces reinvented to live performance, one after another, reverberating in my soul.
Good morning if you're a musician like me.
Your anecdote between performance.
So, this took me back to Richard Harvey on clarinet, Nick Lenny Smith on Hammond organ. Those are the people I was playing with, jamming with 30 years ago.
Unforgettable. That night, I was stunned and dazzled by the magnificence of your music. And the next day, I went back for more. I was immersed in the experience, and then it starts an unexpected beat. What? Happy? Pharrell Williams on stage? We all were standing up of our seats by the beat. So what was this great pop artist doing there? After the song finished, up there, he thanked Hans Zimmer. What a moving moment. It was a reminder of all the great music that is around and it's there thanks to you. Composers like Harry Gregson Williams, Roman Javandi, Steve Jablonski, and many other great musicians. I thank you for that. I got some souvenirs from that day too. Like this t-shirt, it's so cool and elegant. This mug, this gorgeous program. And the best of all is this. A signed poster by the man himself. I guarded it with my life the whole way back. Back here in Mexico, the next month I went to see Interstellar, also known as Interstellar, and I was amazed and puzzled like the majority. So a few months later, news of this appeared. Interstellar live. Live! I was really excited by this. And the second thought in my mind led me to a bank. I was there applying for a loan because I needed to experience this film in this unique presentation. I asked a friend living in Preston to buy the tickets because they had a region restriction. It was incredible. I don't even know where to start. Stephen Hawking, with his great personality, presented Brian Cox, physicist Kip Thorne, Christopher Nolan, director of incredible movies, and Hans Zimmer.
If you were to write me one page without telling me what the movie was about, would I give him one day to write him a piece of music? And I received this beautiful letter, typewritten on a beautiful old typewriter.
Hans Zimmer was part of the orchestra and the whole score was performed live to the picture. So what was that like? Unbelievable! Royal Albert Hall has a built-in massive organ, which is also an important instrument in the score. This thing breathes air from all the place and gives to the sound a very threatening quality. The orchestra feels like a living thing, like a presence right over you. It changes the definition of film score itself. You have inspired me in so many ways during all these years. Thanks to you, I can pick a film music album knowing that it's fun listening. It doesn't have to be my favorite band or a classical piece of music, even without seeing the movie. I have listened to several of the scores you worked on before watching the film itself. Like in At World's End, I was singing the song when the child started to sing, and by the part of Never Shall We Die, people were staring at me and what's up with this guy? Others, like Little Prince, by its localization. It's a new way to discover the movie. When I listen to your music, I listen to your music. With new records, I'm in a complete blackout. When I get outside, I carry my collection separately to not be interrupted by notifications. And I have a small backup. When it's playing Video Killed the Radio Star, I tell people, did you know that it was the first video on MTV? And sometimes they know it and sometimes they say, oh yeah, sure, I didn't know about it. And then I ask them, did you know that Hans Zimmer was on it? I've always been a fan of your narrative. It does unexpected things to movies. And the first time that I saw that you were talking, not in music specific, but always focused on story, something clicked in my mind and I started to love storytelling. My family wasn't really happy about it, so I ended being a computers engineer, working in a government institution. During that time, your work, and especially you, were the most influential in my life. When you said, they pay me for doing this, and I'll be still doing it even if I didn't get paid, I realized that I should be doing something that I love. The next day I quit my job. And since that day, I have been devoted to creative work and storytelling. I always listen to your music when I write. It hasn't been easy, but finally 2 years ago was published a small graphic novel that I wrote. It has been presented at Mexico City International Book Fair and many other events. It has a very personal approach and all my love to music. And very soon will be published another one. I started piano lessons and took your master class. And also read this. I made this long video to thank you for all your great music. And I've already won if I can tell you that you changed my life. Leaving that aside, I would really like to thank you in person. Por favor,